Now it's time for Inspirational Women and my guest, Marcie Fox, a woman who loves books and writing, and she is here to share with us her first novel, an exciting thriller titled Countdown America. We'll find some very current themes, cyber espionage, Russian scandals, and some powerful, strong women in leading roles. It's really a page-turner and a brain twister and all-around great reading. So, to learn more, let's just meet Marcie Fox. Marcie Fox, good morning. It is really so wonderful to welcome you and have you with us today.
Thank you, Kate. Thank you for having me.
Well, this is really exciting. It parallels your book, which is really in itself just quite a ride. Very exciting. Countdown America. Besides being timely in so many ways, it also is just such an adventure and so compelling. I guess the thing is, looking at our life, our world, it maybe isn't too far a stretch, but still, how is it that you came to write Countdown America?
One of the first things that inspired me to write the novel is that I've always been very fascinated, quite intrigued with the spy world. And initially it was hearing about the attacks that Russia was committing against former Soviet Republic countries, and more recently at the news of the moles found in the United States, the hacking of our elections, and there's also been reported other political meddling in several other countries. And I thought it was really the perfect ingredients for a spy story set in the world of political cyber espionage.
So that sets part of the groundwork here. This is your first book, your first novel, correct?
It is, yes.
So it's amazing that this huge topic, to me it's this huge topic. I'm very intrigued by these same sorts of things, by reading about the espionage, and it's the thriller and that sort of thing. So very exciting. But, here it is, your first book, and there you are. Here we are having a conversation about it. Here it is out there for the public to purchase and have a great read during the summer, for one. The characters, of course, are compelling. How did you decide to come up with the people that are really key here?
Isabella I knew would be the lead. I wanted to have a female lead. It was very, very important to me. I don't feel that there are a lot of female leads in spy novels. There are more today than there has been in the past, but still not a lot. I wanted there to be moles because this was one of the things that I was hearing in the news. I thought it would also kind of create a lot of excitement and it would be very entertaining. So I created the two moles in the book, and her best friend, I thought they worked together, and I really wanted to have someone who was by her side in this with her. I thought it made for a really good team.
So, yes, definitely. That is amazing. The moles, as you mentioned, that exists. I mean, it's very relevant in our life these days. Once that got started, boy, it causes the brain to start twisting and turning and trying to figure out, now, who could it be? Who's likely? And you just really put us on a spin with that, don't you?
At first, the one you really don't learn until the end, and I thought that was a really great way to expose her. But one of them, even though we don't learn it outright, you do learn that there is a mole. She doesn't learn until much later, but you do know as the reader that there is a mole. It's subtle, but it's there. That the male character is also a mole.
Yes. So very intriguing. And we're not going to say too much about that because we don't want to just disrupt any of the intensity and the intrigue of reading the book, which is a page turner. But in this case, I was reading it on my phone, a first for me, having my phone for it. So I think it's one of those things. It's a whisk through type of book when you use your a device with it.
It's what? I'm sorry?
Oh, I was saying whisk, but actually it's like a swipe through.
Yes,
right?
yes.
Yeah. So really, Countdown America, it's freshly out. It is definitely a great read. And of course, I was surprised at how fast a read it ended up being. It's like, oh my gosh, I got to keep reading, and yet I don't want it to end. It's that kind of book.
Awesome.
So amazing. You've hit a home run with your first book out.
Oh, I love that. Thank you.
Well, thank you. It's just fun to read intriguing stories with great characters. And, so here's the thing. Isabel is a strong woman. She's high up here in the CIA. And all the kind of work that she does, the physical activity, I mean, she is certainly fit, but boy, she comes up against these men and she's really tough and strong. Amazing. Do you have that within yourself?
Not to that extent. Well, yeah, I am a very strong, independent person. I don't have the skills that she does. But to an extent, I am strong. I'm better verbal, probably.
But so the physical strength that she has, like martial arts, is really what it is, isn't it?
Yes, some of it.
Oh, it's just really utterly amazing, and we think we're getting into, well, we know right from the outside, the scene is set that it's going to be, a thriller. But then it kind of gets into this nice kind of homey thing, family, and you think, oh, this is great. But I guess we shouldn't get too comfortable, right?
Yeah, no, it's always kind of a way to set the scene and to let people see how she is at home, her family life, the love of her family, the importance of her family.
So here's a thing about women being in these leading roles with family. Do you feel it's any different that when it's a male who has this? Because being a mom, a mother, taking care of having children, taking care of them, there seems to be just a deeper responsibility and it's so much more on the line in a way.
I think that I agree with you. I think that it's because of the way that women have been downcast, really, in much of our society.
Yeah.
We're made to feel like we're not strong, we can't do it, and we have to be that way. And I wholeheartedly disagree with that.
Yes, and it comes across in this character for sure. The strength that she has.
Yes. She couldn't be anything but that.
Yeah. Oh, really an amazing woman, a really great character. Did you, is she someone who kind of lived within you already, or did you come up with her as a character as the story began to unfold in your mind?
I came up with her as a character, and some parts of her strength are there, and some of her sassiness or badassiness, certainly. But I came up with her as a character, and just knew, not just because she's a CIA agent, but just knew that she had to be a very strong person.
Well, there's no question about that strength and her brilliance. Just I guess it would come with her education, with her having risen to the level that she has, just, how she's so tuned in and aware of what's going on around her and being able to pretty much all the time pick up on cues and really be able to protect herself.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes.
Oh, it's a wild ride. That's all I'm going to say. Just a wild ride. Got to read it to find out all those details.
Awesome. Yeah. And I wanted that little piece of intuition because, I think everybody really has intuition if they apply it. But it is very much something very big in women. We're always talking about women's intuition and how, sometimes how very difficult it could be, but also how very much needed it can be.
And that comes across quite strongly as well in Countdown America through Isabella, who is our lead character, but how she really taps into it with some of the other characters and encourages that. It's, giving us permission, too, to kind of look at it within our own lives.
Yes, yes.
Right? So definitely, so much going on, so much to think about. And with the CIA, some of these, the way it all operates, did you have a chance to do some, hands-on or get right in there like a lab work? Did you have any of that, or is it all in your mind?
Not that way, but
No.
when I was one of the times through writing the book, when I was doing some research, I had gone to Washington, and you can do this kind of spy game there. It's like a tour, and you get all these clues, and you have to solve the clues to get to your next clue. And you have to find them, follow the trail. So it was actually quite interesting. So I got to live it, but that was the extent of my, other than just enjoying it, reading spy novels and loving spy work, but, being fascinated by it. That was one way that I was able to experience it.
And so we're going to say this, your real life, in your life thus far, as, looking at your career, your work is in accounting, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So this seems to be kind of on the other side, the real adventurous part, and yet, with the story that goes on here, the accounting seems to really play a role of its own in here.
That was not intended.
Oh, okay. Just a byproduct.
Yeah. I haven't, at one time I thought I might want to write a novel, in the accounting world. But I've shied away from it, especially, being an accountant. I think it's hard to write about when you've got all those scandals out there. And it was just not something that I could tap into at the time. I still may at some point, but it was just not something that I wanted to tap into at the time.
And saying that the accounting plays into it, it's really not that in itself, but it's that whole world of kind of finance and such that comes into play. That again adds to the intrigue, the thriller of it all.
Yeah, the attacks on the credit institutes and yes.
And that is in itself, that was frightening, actually. So it's intriguing, but scary.
Yeah, very, very.
And to think how vulnerable we really could be. That isn't so far-fetched, is it?
Not necessarily. That's the thing, and that's the real scary part. It's not.
Yeah, so there's another piece of it to our listeners. the intrigue that goes on gets us thinking about, what goes on in our world, how we live our lives, and where we might want to really exercise caution and just be really, really aware.
Aware, exactly, and diligent. I mean, I love the cyber world. There's so many things we can do with it, reaching other people, learning, different programs available to us. It's just exactly what you said, exercising caution.
Yeah. So look at all the things that we are able to learn and be inspired by through a book of fiction, which has so many ways that it taps into reality.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So back to our main character, to Isabella, who is really just such an amazing woman. She is a mother, as we've talked about. She is a single mother, a widow in this case. Was that important to have her be a single mom?
It wasn't imperative, but my thought was to create a strong but vulnerable character. And being a single mom, you can be very vulnerable. It's a very vulnerable position. You've got everything to do. You've got the school, the clothes, and these Janie and Jimmy, they're young. So in some respects can make it a little easier. But you're the clothes, the food, the daycare, whatever. She has her mom living with her to help take care of her kids because she is widowed. And it's just a very tender kind of place to be. And then you're having to fend for them and yourself and making sure that, they have everything and that they're well. And it can be very difficult.
Oh, absolutely. And in that case, describing all of that and just knowing how a large segment of our population are families, are women, single moms. And so I'm sure that they would be able to relate to this really, really well.
Yeah. My hope was that it would inspire them to believe in themselves. Being a single mom and doing it all on your own is a lonely place. It can really be a lonely place. And if it inspires someone to think and say, hey, I can do this, or to just stop for a minute when they're feeling like they can't and take a breath and then say, I can do this, that's great.
It is, absolutely. And so obviously that was part of a big part of your impetus with Isabella, is to make her such a woman that other women could relate to in some fashion. Not that they're going to necessarily be going out there with their martial arts, but maybe.
Some may, but certainly not all. But it's still a place where mind over matter, heart over matter. If you start to feel like you can't do it all, is just taking that step back and changing your mind, the landscape of your mind.
Right. And finding where there might be that kind of support. In her case, she was able to reach out to family. Her mom was there, able to support her. I think that's the message too, that we need to look around and see where we might collaborate. Maybe it won't be our own mother, but there might be other family members or friends that can kind of co-op with us.
Yes.
And
for sure.
Yeah. So I guess it does lead us down that path, is to consider those sorts of things that we can do together and support each other.
Yes.
Which, again, as you mentioned, she has her best friend who's been in this business world with her and is someone important. She's not there taking care of her children, per se, but someone that she knows she can depend on.
Yes.
So friendships
Yes.
being very powerful.
Yes, and sometimes, I'm very much like that. I don't necessarily go to reach out to people if I need something, and I think it's a really good idea that you do. Maybe that was something for me to learn through it, through writing it.
Well, sometimes they say we teach what we most need to learn. So you're writing maybe what you need to learn.
That's a very good point.
Just a thought, there's so much that we can always learn from everything around us. And just as we're talking about Countdown America, so many different aspects and angles of this book gives us so much food for thought. And so we should mention it's a pretty new book, so really great as summertime is beginning to roll along to get our own copying and get into summer reading. So of course we can pick up a copy of at any of our favorite book sources, correct?
It's on Amazon.com.
Okay, and in print or digitally.
Yes.
Right, and your website is another good source of information and getting other ways of, touching base with you, finding out what's going on, that sort of thing. So the website is?
mcfoxauthor.com.
Right. The author is an important part of that.
Yes.
Yes. I found that out because I didn't go to the right place. So, and also we can follow you on Facebook and Instagram.
Yes, MC Fox author on both. MC Fox, yes, author on both.
Great. So that's the way to follow you and get in touch and find out what new things might be going on, which leads me to ask, are you then looking at a next book?
I am. I actually have a few that I would like to write. There are thoughts to do a second book with Isabella.
That would be great.
And I have a mystery detective book inside of me that I'd like to come out. And there are a couple of other genres actually as well. Different things, different projects.
It sounds like play the way you mention that, Marcie.
It kind of is.
Is it?
It's really a passion for me. I really love to write.
So has that been your passion, yet you went into accounting? How does that work?
Oddly, right?
No. There's always kind of an interesting kind of way that it weaves around, and who knows? So, what is your story?
For accounting, I think it was the logical thing to do. I'm good with numbers as well. And it's very hard to try to write and make a go of it and pay your bills or do whatever. So it's very, very difficult. So accounting was kind of like the impetus to help me sustain myself while I write.
That is fabulous. So practical, but really fabulous. So you don't have to be a starving artist kind of thing.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. But so with writing being a passion from a young age?
Well, I've always loved words. I've always thrown around words, even as a small child. Poetry. I started with poetry. I love poetry. I do write poetry. And then, really with the thoughts of how this book started, it was just like, this is going to be a good book. I'm going to write this book. And even as I was saying it, I was like, wow, okay.
Was this some alter ego talking and you're saying, wait a minute, Where's that coming from?
Probably.
Yeah. Well, that's wonderful. It's so great to share those kinds of stories because I think so many of us can relate in some part or many parts and feel inspired there as well and encouraged.
Yes, yes.
So look at all the multiple purposes you're sharing with us this morning.
That's wonderful.
Well, I think so as well. Certainly reading and getting into literature and, kind of challenging our mind and that kind of intrigue is so critically important. So there's that part of it that I think thrillers give us a great opportunity to do that. Not to say that, lighter reading isn't also good and stimulating, but certainly this causes our minds to kind of really twist and turn.
Yes, for sure.
And so, did you have any surprises as you wrote?
Surprises
in terms of the story or the characters?
I'm sorry, I have to think for a minute. Not huge surprises. As the story was unfolding, I knew what I wanted it to do.
Okay.
Sometimes I went back and said, no, not that. And certainly, going through the different drafts and things, you go back and you say, okay, do I really want this? I think this really needs to be cut, but do I really need to cut it? Do I really want to cut it? Is there anything I can do with it? Kind of thing. I knew how and where I wanted this book to go.
Wow, that's wonderful to have that vision, and then it just all kind of, you just weave the words into making it happen. That is so great. But as you were saying, there could be a second book with Isabella in it. I would love to be reading that book. I mean, she is just such a wonderful wonderful woman, wonderful character, just someone
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. I mean, she is someone that I would like to know. And, well, you know her, don't you?
Very intimately.
Yes. Oh, it'd be great. I could see where it could evolve into some kind of a series ultimately, right? Potentially.
I was thinking the other day potentially about a third book as well. And I guess we'll see where that takes me.
Well, it's maybe like life. You have to take these steps along the way for the other to really reveal itself and keep moving forward.
Yes.
Right? Well, there's lots of potential, certainly, I think, with Countdown America, just the themes that are going on and the characters being as compelling as they are. Just lots of fun and just, a great deal of entertainment for us as well.
Yes, thank you.
Well, I thank you. This has been wonderful to have an opportunity first to read Countdown America, but certainly then to learn some of the insights and the details of it. It's really, really great. So, Marcie, tell us again how we can find you and where to find you.
You can find the book on Amazon.com, and my website is mcfoxauthor.com. And you can find me on Instagram and Facebook, also MC Fox Author. So,
any of those places, get a copy of the book. It's sure to really grip you, and you won't want it to end. So, as Marcie said, it takes a while to write the book, right? So,
yeah.
So it may be a year or so, but in the meantime, just right now, think about Countdown America and enjoy it.
Thanks, Kate.
You're so welcome. Again, many thanks for taking time with us this morning. It's been wonderful to meet you. Thank you for the great work that you do.
Thank you, and thanks for having me.
You're so welcome. And with that, we're at the end of a very full hour of Inspirational Women with MC Fox and Sunday Morning Magazine with Hu Dalconzo. I'm Kate Daniels, your host, and I greatly appreciate your sharing this hour with me and these special guests. For details you might have missed or information you'd like to know, please just send me an email, kated@warm1069.com, and I'll get right back to you. Also, if you'd like to listen again or share these important stories with your family and friends, find the podcast. It's on our Warm 1069 webpage. Simply click on the On Air tab, then Sunday mornings, and look for the show and guest names. I now wish you and your family a day of embracing the great and wonderful power within each of us. Have a week of the same, and then please plan to join me again next weekend for another hour of Sunday Morning Magazine and Inspirational Women on War 106.9. Good morning.